Hello student, I will welcome to all of you. I am Rohini Daun, Computer Science Department, KTHM College, Nasik. In the previous session, we learned about the file uploads and the setting response headers. In this session, we learn about the form validation and the maintaining state. To maintaining state, we can use here the two superglobals, that is $_cookie and the $_session. These two variables is used for the maintaining state. Form validation. When a client enters any data into the form, several validations should be done on it before it is inserted into the database. And also note that it's good to validate user inputs on the browser, that is on the client side, using the client script, because browser validation is faster than the server side's validation and also reduces the server load. And a good way to validate a form is to the post form to the itself, and instead of jumping to the different pages, the user will then get the error message on the same page of the form. Consider the one example of the form validation. PHP script to create form that accept the user full name and their email addresses. Use case conversion function to capitalize the first letter of each name, and user submits and print the result back to the browser, and check that user email address contains the @ symbol or not. Just consider this HTML script here. We can use here the self-referencing page in the form tag. We can write down here the in the action tag is equal to opening bracket means the starting PHP tag, and then we can use here the echo $_server PHP self, and then we have used here the method is equal to post. After that, we can take here two text field here and having the type text and name for the username and EID for the email ID, and then we can take one submit button having the value submit and name also the submit. In this code, we can write down here the PHP script, and then we can check here the request method equal to post, and then we can retrieve the value of the username and email ID by using here the $_post name, which is a name of the text field, and the email ID. Then this value stored into this variable, and after that, for the capitalization of the each word from the name, we can use here the UC word built-in function, which can capitalize each word of the each name, and then we can use here the explode function, which can split the string into the strings, many strings here, and then we can split the email ID which is provided by the user, and then it will explode this string by using the @ symbol here. After that, we can check this count equal to 2, and email ID contains @ symbol. It will count equal to 2. Then we can display the message email ID contains @ symbol. Otherwise, we can simply display the email ID doesn't contain the @ symbol or contains more than @ symbol. After executing this code, we can first give the HTML by running the HTML script. It will give this screen. After that, we can enter here the ABC PQR is the username and the email ID. After submitting on this button, after submitting this form, it will redirect into the next script. It will display the PHP script, and then it will give the output. It will capitalize the first letter of the each name. Means here we can enter the small ABC and the PQR, then it will capitalize first letter of the each name. Here it will give the capital A and the capital P, and after that it will check the @ symbol is contained in the given email ID or not, and then it will display the email ID contains the @ symbol. Next topic is the maintaining state. Whenever we interact with an application, the interaction can be stateful or the stateless. That is, either it remembers the preceding events or it does not remember the any previous event. Stateful means the computer or the program keeps track of the state of the interaction, usually by setting the values in the storage field by using the cookie or a session. And here HTTP is the stateless. The HTTP server never remembers the request letter, and for maintaining there are the methods for the maintaining state by using cookies and the session. Then first one is the cookie. A cookie is a simple text string. Cookies are stored on the client machine, means on the web browser, and not on the server machine. Cookie is basically a string that contains the several fields, and server can send one or more cookies to the browser in the headers of a response, and some of the cookies field indicate the pages for which the browser should send the cookie as a part of the request. And cookie is a small flat file which sits on the client machine, and each time user requests page or goes to web page, all cookies information is sent to, and this is used to identify who you are. Then by using here the set cookie function is used to send a cookie to the browser, and then syntax for the set cookie function, we can write down the set cookie. This is the built-in function which is provided by the PHP. Then having the first parameter name, which is the mandatory field, and after that value, then expire, path, domain, and secure. All these are the optional parameters. Here first one is the name. A name is the unique name for the particular cookie. You can have multiple cookies with a different name and the attributes, and then the name must not contain the white space or the semicolons. Then the value, the arbitrary string value attached to this cookie, and the original Netscape specification limited to the total size of a cookie, including the name, expiration date, and other information to the 4 KB, and so while there no specific limit on the size of a cookie value. Then the expiration date for this cookie, and if no expiration date is specified, the browser saves the cookie in memory and not on the disk. When the browser exists, the cookie disappears and the expiration date is specified as the number of the seconds. Then the path. The browser will return the cookie only for URL below this path, and the default is the directory in which the current pages reside. After that, domain. The browser will return the cookie only for URLs with this domain, and the default is the server host name. And last one is the secure. The browser will transmit the cookie only over HTTPS connection, and the default is a false, meaning that it's okay to send the cookie over the insecure connection. Then consider simple example for the cookie. Design a PHP script to keep a track of number of times the web page has been accessed. Here we can write the simple PHP script. Here we can check here by using the isSet function. $cookie, this is our super global variable, and we can pass here the accesses attribute. Then by using this attribute we can store the number of access time into this count variable, and if not accessed then we can set this count is equal to 0. By using the set cookie function, here we can write down here the accesses name of the cookie here, and then we can write down the count, means it will access first time, after that it will count increment by the 1, and then at the final we can display the message you have visited this page $count, means it will display the value of the count variable, means you can visited this page at the how many times here, 4, 5, whatever times. Next method is the session. First one is, what is the need of this session? A normal HTML website will not pass data from one page to another, and all information is forgotten when a new page is loaded. And then many websites need to pass user data from one page to the another page, and like as a shopping cart, and which requires the data to be remembered from one page to next page. And then for this purpose PHP use the session. Then what is the session? A series of related interaction between a single client and web server over an extended period of time. A session creates a file in the temporary directory on the server where registered session variables and their values are stored. This data will be available to all pages on the site during that visit. Here session allows us easily create a multi-page forms, save user authentication information from page to page, and store persistent user preferences on a site. Then there is a simple program to print the visitors count of the web page. Here we can write down here the PHP script. Then at the starting session underscore start. This is the PHP built-in function used for started using the for the start the session here. And this must be at the very beginning of the code and before any HTML or text is sent. This function check if a session is already started, and if no, then it start one. And here session variable are stored in the associative array called as the $_session array, and this variable can be accessed during the lifetime of a session. For the syntax for the session start method, you can only use here the session underscore start, opening closing bracket and the semicolon. Here we can use here, then we can check here the by using the isSet function. $_session page count, you can use here the page count attribute, and then we can check if you visited the page, then page count will be increased by the 1, otherwise page count is equal to 1, and then it will simply display your visitor number $_session and page count, means there are the number of counts here it will display. We will learn functions of the session. First one is the bool session start, and then you can pass here the parameter array $option. This is the optional variable. This is used to enable session for a page, means you can start the session by using this function. After that, second one is the bool session register. This is a data type, means it will data type in the true or false value. Then a session register is used to register with the session by passing the name of the variable. After that, string session. The returning type of this function is a string session underscore id. This function is used to get or set a session id for the current session, and this id is the unique id for the particular session. After that, session underscore destroy. This function is used to destroy all the data associated with the current session. And also it does not unset any of the global variable associated with the session or unset the session cookie to use the session variable again, and the session underscore start has to be called. And last one is the session underscore unregister. This unregister the global variable name from the current session. Thank you.